Okay, everyone, so we're going to identify parts of algebraic expressions. Round one, we're going to do problems 1 through 3 together, and then you're going to do 5 through 6, one at a time, so that you can kind of do a check for understanding. Now, I made a mistake, so if you're the substitute, I said problems 1 through 4 were going to be examples, and then I said 5 through 8 were going to be, like a check for understanding. There's only 6 problems in round one, so it's going to be 1 through 3 notes, and anyways. All right, so guys, round one, it says identify the coefficients, constants, variables, and the like terms in each expression. So let's go ahead and set that up for problems 1, 2, and 3. All right, so problem number one, first we're going to find the coefficients. Coefficients are the numbers that are attached to the variable. Remember, they tell you how many of the variable that there is. So for example, for 8b, that means there are 8 b's. So the coefficient is 8. For plus 7b, we have 7. That's another coefficient. And our last coefficient is negative 6 because we're subtracting 6b. A constant is just a number with no variable attached. It's just a number. And so our constant for problem number one is just negative 4. I'm going to put a circle around that. So negative 4 is the only constant. The variable is the letter, and it represents the unknown number. In this case, the letter that they're using is the letter B. Last but not least, like terms are terms that have the same variable raised to the same exponent. And in this situation, the letter B doesn't have, it's an exponent raised to the power of 1. So 8b, 7b, and negative 6b are all like terms because they all have the variable b, and it's raised to the same power. Okay. Negative 4 is by itself, the constant, and so we're not going to list it as like terms. Okay, let's look at problem 2. Our coefficients are on 8z. We have the coefficient of 8, and we also have 5z, so the coefficient would be 5. Coefficients are attached to the variable. Constants are just numbers that are by themselves, and constants are supposed to be blue. I messed up the color coding on the last one, so I'm just going to fix that right here. So my constants are positive 9 and also negative 3. You guys should be writing this down. These are your notes for this worksheet, and it's a review of yesterday. Let me put a red box around positive 5z. Okay. All right. So last but not least, our variables, we're just using the letter z in this problem number 2. So I'm going to put the letter z right there. It's kind of hard to see it. It's a letter z. Okay, and let's do our like terms. We have our constants. Those are a group of like terms, 9 and negative 3. And the other group of like terms would be positive 8z and 5z. Let's close that bracket. Okay, all right, on the last one, I'm just going to list those for you, and y'all can catch up on this one. Okay, so there's our coefficients, constants, variables, and like terms. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to ask the substitute to, or actually whoever the student is that's controlling the iPad, I want us to all look at problem number 4, and you're going to do the same thing. Find the coefficient, constant, variables, and like terms of problem 4. You have 1 minute. Pause this video if you need to. And substitute, please, I'm going to ask you a favor. Don't let them take more than 2 minutes, because if it drags, then it ends up getting more confusing. You take too much time. And then let's see if y'all get the answer to number 4 correct. Go ahead and pause the video now. Okay, so at this point, you should have made your attempt at listing each of those things. And here comes the answer in 3, 2, 1. Okay, everyone. So now let's go ahead and take a look at problem number 5. You're going to find the coefficients, constants, variables, and the like terms. This is your check for understanding. You need to do this. If you could pause the video, give yourselves about a minute, and then we'll check to see if you got it right. Okay, so check your work. Hopefully you all were able to get that one. Okay, we're going to do one more check for understanding. Then after this, you guys are on your own, so do your best to get this figured out. Problem 6, same task. All right, go ahead and check your work. Okay, now, you know what? There's one thing that we should talk about, and this is what your IXL is going to be based on. They're going to ask you to identify coefficients, or they're going to ask you how many terms are in an expression. So let's go back to problem 1 for a second. If I look at problem 1, I have 8b plus 7b minus 4 minus 6b. As you can see, we broke that into 4 terms. Because remember, a term is just each piece of the expression. Problem 2, again, you have 4 terms, okay? All right, the reason why I didn't ask you to list how many terms there were is because just about every single one of these examples has 4 terms, right? If you look at problem 3, 4, 5, and 6, they all have 4 terms. If you look at round 2, problem 1, that only has 3 terms. It's only 3 pieces. So just a heads up on that. All right, thank you to the substitute. Special thanks to the students who projected this onto the TV. You guys do it. I will see you on Wednesday.